Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. Well, let's head on over to meteorologist Thomas Patrick to get you your Friday Eve forecast. Thomas, we're excited. We're one day closer to the weekend. And my goodness, this is that time of year when it's like, okay, hot or like AC and then your heater and then back and forth, because it actually feels pretty good in the evening.
Yeah, it is kind of that weird time of year where, well, yesterday we hit 70 degrees. Wasn't that fantastic during the day, but it still gets cool first thing in the morning, though it's definitely not as cold as it could be. But I just wanted to point out that we did get to 70 yesterday, which is pretty significant for October. It's not a record high or anything, but we are going to continue with that trend of 70-degree warmth for the rest of the week and into the weekend. So it could be 5 or even 6 straight days of 70-degree weather. There's your current temperatures on either side of 50 degrees, just like yesterday. And also like yesterday, another day full of sunshine. Probably even gets a little bit warmer yet for today, with our warmest days likely going to be on either Saturday or Sunday. So we're tracking how long this awesome stretch of weather is going to be here for before our pattern shifts.
New in the last 24 hours, more than 1 month after 2 wildfires killed 2 people and burned thousands of acres in Spokane County, the governor has requested federal aid. Washington Governor Jay Inslee sent a letter to President Biden formally requesting for a major disaster declaration for the fires. This will allow more federal aid to be authorized to help people impacted by the fires. Senators Patty Murray, Maria Cantwell, and U.S. Representative Kathy McMorris Rogers also wrote a letter backing Governor Inslee's request. You can read both letters on our website, krem.com. Also helping with relief efforts, Team Rubicon, a group of volunteers made up of veterans and civilians. They are cutting down dead trees and moving debris out of the way so people can begin to rebuild. One volunteer has been a part of the organization for 6 years. He says giving hope to people is why he keeps coming back.
What I really want to see come out of any operation that's disaster recovery, disaster response, is giving that homeowner hope, because they have lost more times than not everything, especially in a wildfire. So giving them hope, taking the workload off them.
Also helping people out, the Department of Natural Resources has given out more than 2 tons of grass seed to home and landowners. Grass has already started to grow in places that were completely burnt, as you can see, a sign of the recovery efforts. Catholic Charities is sharing new plans for more low-income housing in the West Hills neighborhood. And this is that same area where neighbors were protesting when Catholic Charities started the transitional housing in the old Quality Inn. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez live in West Hills right now. So Nicole, tell us a little bit more about this and where this new development could be. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim. So just for a little bit of context here, right now we're live at this Catalyst housing project that Catholic Charities runs out of the old Quality Inn here on Sunset Highway. Here we're at the top of the hill, and just at the bottom of the hill is where this new spot is potentially going to go at Sunset and Government. So not that far from this original housing project Catholic Charities already runs. Take a look here. Here's a look at some renderings for what this new building would look like. It would be 48 units for family housing, specifically for families making less than $53,000 a year. They would have case management, employment assistance, and counseling, and after-school programs for kids in the building. Catholic Charities is getting an application for funding ready for Washington State Housing Fund to make all this happen. And if they do get the money to make it happen, they could start construction next year, and it could be open in 2026. But the West Hills Neighborhood Council Chair is already concerned and wants Catholic Charities to find another spot. He says they've already had issues with people experiencing homelessness, causing trouble in the neighborhood.
Very much paints a picture that has already happened downtown Spokane surrounding 2nd and Division.
So neighbors, of course, not wanting that 2nd and Division like problems to be happening here in the West Hills area. They also say they're concerned that Sunset Bridge itself is dilapidated. So right now the next steps here is the neighborhood council is planning on voting on a resolution to block any new buildings until at least Sunset Bridge is fixed. In Spokane, Nicole Hernandez, KREM 2 News.
Federal investigators are on scene in Oregon this morning after a plane dropped out of the sky and crashed nose down into the roof of a home. The sole survivor of the crash is a woman from Spokane. It happened Tuesday night in Newburgh, southwest of Portland. 20-year-old Emily Hurd from Spokane was one of 3 people on board and the only to survive. Local officials say one passenger was a flight school instructor. Emily and the other passenger were students. Firefighters say everyone inside the home ran out safely after the plane crashed. The FlightAware website shows the twin-engine Piper took off, and then less than 30 minutes later, it crashed into the back of the home and a part of the backyard.
I ran out to see if my boy was okay, and they were crying. I said, "Did the plane hit the house?" They go, "Yeah, it hit his buddy's house."
So thank goodness somebody's looking after them and had them in the front yard.
Federal investigators say the investigation could take between 1 or 2 years to complete. Next steps include recovering and securing the plane for additional research. It is 6:07. Let's take a look at your morning rush. More news in less time. Developing this morning, Spokane police are searching for the people who fired shots in the Perry district last night. Officers responded to a report of shots fired near East 9th and South Arthur. No one was hurt in the shooting. Police say the shooter left the area before they arrived. Right now, police are still searching for the shooter, but say they know who they are looking for, and there is no ongoing threat to the community. New details this morning. A Proud Boy member from Vancouver, Washington has been found guilty of storming the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. Evidence shows Mark Anthony Brew trampled over barricades and entered the Capitol's West Plaza, where he confronted officers trying to hold back the rioters. He is scheduled to be sentenced on January 8th. Well, you have to see this. Check out this amazing video showing buffalo being released by the Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation. In total of 30 buffalo are now roaming between Keller Ridge and Buffalo Lake. Wow. The buffalo are a gift from the Kalispel Tribe of Indians. It is all a part of an initiative to return the animals to their native historic ranges. The chairman of the Colville Tribe thanked Kalispel Tribe for the gift. That is a look at your morning rush.
About 50 minutes away to sunrise here, but we are just starting to see a little bit of dawn's glow in the eastern horizon. A beautiful but still dark scene over Riverfront Park in downtown Spokane. But our temperatures are holding steady, still at 52 degrees as of the 6 o'clock hour, which is just a pinch warmer than it was yesterday. And we will see a day that is filled with sunshine and more warm weather like we had yesterday. Again, maybe a pinch warmer by the afternoon with an expected high of about 74 in Spokane. That would be a degree warmer than yesterday. And boy, this weekend is looking fantastic, especially for early October, hitting 77 degrees and maybe even have an off chance at an 80-degree reading across the inland northwest. Make sure to enjoy it because the 70-degree weather should not last all that much longer into next week.
Covering North Idaho this morning. If life has felt more expensive lately, you're not imagining it. New data from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis shows that inflation rose more in the state of Idaho than anywhere else in the country. So this map you see here shows the percent change between 2021 and 2022. You can see Idaho is in the dark blue category with an 11.8% increase in just 1 year. Increases in housing and utilities were the largest factors. Over in Shoshone County, the sheriff's office says a hunter was robbed earlier this week. The sheriff says this happened in the area of Moon Pass. The hunter was approached by 2 people who asked if he was armed. Those 2 people then hit the hunter over the head and robbed him. The sheriff's office says this isn't the first incident like this. They received a Facebook message about another hunter who was robbed at gunpoint near St. Joe in Shoshone County. In this case, the robbers stole an elk the hunter killed. The sheriff has not been able to identify the victim in this second reported case because the person who gave the sheriff the tip did not say the name of the person who was allegedly robbed. They are now asking anyone who might know anything about the second robbery to reach out. That number there is at the bottom of your screen. An update this morning, Idaho started a treatment method to kill off the quagga mussel. That's the invasive species that was found last month in the Snake River in southern Idaho. The Idaho State Department of Agriculture are using a copper-based treatment, and it's approved by the EPA. The treatment is not expected to impact any drinking water sources. However, it is expected to kill a significant number of fish, as well as aquatic plants and algae.
At this point, we are expecting some significant fish loss. What that will truly look like is still yet to be determined.
Quagga mussels is an invasive mussel, and we're told that it threatens hydropower irrigation and recreation. The mussels could also disrupt the river's food chain. The treatment of the mussels will continue for the next 10 days.